Bubba Shake and Bacon's Rando Ranger here, and today I'll be going over the dialogue of the Snowmen in Road Town. With only 3 chapters out, a lot of these ideas will be speculation, though I think that what the Snowmen have to say are very interesting and reveal a lot behind the lore of Blocktails, so let's dive right in. The first Snowman we agree with literally says nothing, and I think that this guy was put here to throw people off thinking that these snowmen have nothing important to say. This is further proven because the snowmen later on literally state that they're telling us secrets. Overall, this snowman isn't really too important, and I think he's mostly an inconspicuous cover-up for the others. Once we get into the snowman you'd likely run into after the first, this is where things get interesting. This one states that it knows of our struggles, and honestly, I think that this is something that says a lot. I think this could be connected back to the Cruel King or the swords themselves, as snowmen only appear after the Cruel King misuses the ice dagger, though it may be a bit of a reach and these snowmen are really just in our heads. Anyways, this dialogue is the first hint that these snowmen have deeper dialogue than the other NPCs and that they have information related to us in some way. With the fact that these snowmen are referring to us out of the way, we can move on to what I think is arguably some of the most important lines. This first snowman states, "Stairs towards the open road, an inevitable path you must travel." And another says, "Do you seek the secrets for the thrill, or to wane from the inevitable future?" What makes these lines so important is that it confirms the existence, or at least the idea of fate in the world of Blocktails. We know what happens in our future, and it's heavily implied that it's our fate to get the swords. The first snowman confirms that our fate is sealed, and the only thing we can do is press forwards, while the other one wonders if we're just here to look at the details, or if we really think we can break through the chains of fate. Something I wanted to add, while kind of unlikely, is that this line could be breaking the fourth wall too. It could be saying that no matter how many times we replay the game, things will just go as they always have, like it does in many other story games. So I think that's worth noting, but really just take this with a grain of salt. Moving on, we have 2 big snowmen. One which says, "Wishing the world back to the way it was. That's what you wanted, wasn't it?" And the other that says, "They don't last forever." Now, I think that these 2 lines imply that we missed something from the past, but the first one asking the question, "That's what you wanted, wasn't it?" adds more depth to this. We aren't here simply for nostalgia. This line implies that there must be some catch to our wish of the world being back to what it was, or that we have some type of regret. If I had to guess, this regret is related to us feeling isolated in this new environment, having nobody that knows about us besides Shindletsky. I highly doubt that we did anything world-ending level, as some lines in Chapter 3 say that we still have family, friends, a future to miss. Though, as having something to miss implies that we either hid away what we did from those we loved, or we missed what we had before obtaining the swords filled us with an unquenchable greed and a hatred for others, eventually becoming hatred for ourselves due to our guilt. The lines of the snowmen could also be interpreted as the voices who are simply trying to change the course of history. The other snowman, though, just has a statement, which I think is for our own interpretation. We can interpret that they don't last forever in a nihilistic lens and look in sadness, or we can interpret it from the absurdist lens and decide to savor these fleeting moments. Another snowman says that it's waiting for the next sunset, and I think that the sunset is symbolic of the end waiting for us when we inevitably get all the other swords. And I think it could imply that we've done this multiple times before. Personally though, I think this is our first repeat, while our last time we let greed consume us and we brought hatred to the world. This is further backed by how the voices tell the Cruel King that Blackrock ceases to exist in our future, though this is all assuming that the voices speak the truth and aren't just manipulating everyone with what's most dear to them. I will say though that there is some evidence backing this, as one of the knights mentions Blackrock crumbling indirectly due to us. Now, 2 snowmen that I think have related lines, while not necessarily next to each other, is this one snowman that says, "Learn to light a candle in this dark moment of their lives. Be the light that helps them see. It's what gives life significance." And this other who says, "You see the world through the eyes of a foreigner, perhaps speaking to the townspeople, understanding them, hearing their stories, would do some good for your soul." My take on this is that the snowmen are the voices trying to lead us in the right direction to try and help us from doing whatever we did last time by pushing us to understand the people in this world. As I said before, it's likely that last time we caused the fall of Blackrock Kingdom, amongst other things, and from the looks of it, we're heading down that same path once again. The Cruel King is probably right, and maybe we aren't the hero that we think we are, and maybe the catch to our time travel is that we forget why we are coming back, only knowing our original goal in getting the swords, therefore making it seemingly inevitable that we retrace our steps with only the voices to remember our actions and try to stop us through vessels. These vessels being the Cruel King and the Griefer, who are told by the voices to stop us, or else their kingdom will fall, or, in Griefer's case, slice us up. Of course, this time around, I think that we might do things right. While in the dream world, it is suggested that we are the vessel of hatred, with the dialogues of the NPCs leading up to him, along with the achievement for beating hatred being called redemption, suggesting that purifying our soul is the turning point for our fate. Last but not least, tying everything together, this big snowman says, "You got what you wanted, yet you yearn to go back? Curious." This line confirms that there is something we originally went after, and is suggesting that we were greedy and did not get the swords like we wanted, but couldn't let them go and it destroyed us. Something that backs the idea of the sword's power corrupting us and that we weren't the hero is a line by one of the NPCs in Avarice, telling us that we should keep the swords and not give it back to Shidletsky. Anyways, that was it for the Snowmen, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe if you want to hear more Block Tales content in the future. In a while, crocodiles.